sing him a song? Oh, yeah, all right, I'll sing him a song if you like. When I was and a little boy, with a hey-ho, the wind and the rain, purely foolish thing, it was a toy. The rain, it raineth every day, with a hey-ho. Oh, they still got no service. My lord and master, King Lear. He stood standing there by yonder stream. You never guess what he's doing. No, he isn't doing that, as a matter of fact. Not at the moment, anyway. So what do you think he's doing? What do you think is giving my lord and master his attention at this moment in time? He won't, no, he's not signing important documents. No, and he's not dealing with affairs of state. Not even unimportant affairs of state. So what do you think he's doing? What do you think is enthralling him at this particular moment? He's making daisy chains. The king is making daisy chains. He thinks he's a 2-year-old again. Bless him. Daisy chains, I ask you. Between you and me, I think he's losing the plot. That's if he's not lost it already. Yeah, yes, you can make one for me as well. Yeah, very nice, yes. Don't go wandering off now. I'll put a ball and chain on your ankle so well. I have to humour him, don't I? It's my job, you see, humouring him. I am none other than King Lear's fool. That came as a shock to you, didn't it? Yes, I have been King Lear's fool now for, let's say a good many years. I'm not sure for how much longer. Still, I had a waistcoat now. I would never know with that waistcoat. Good man, would you fetch me my waistcoat, please? I mean, it appears to be undressed. There's an advert in the pocket, and it might be useful for me. Have you found it? No. Oh. Yeah, just that. That's the one. That's the waistcoat. Yeah, you got it in one.
Buy peanuts to get monkeys.
Yes, I saw this advert. Where is it? Got it in the pocket in here somewhere. Oh, yeah. Costume change already, you see. No expense spared with this show. Right, what have we got here? Oh, yes, here we are now then. Reliable fool wanted. Must be able to bring calm to tense situations and also to stop people from tearing each other's throats out. Apply the House of Commons. Bit of a tall order, that one, isn't it? Oh, this one's all right. Oh, versatile fool wanted. Must be able to perform somersaults, backflips, and do cartwheels. Well, forget that for a start. Oh, no. My talents lie in the more refined areas of the witty riposte, the grande bonne motte. I'll give you an example. All right, so what we have in front of us is a gang of yobs, angry yobs, otherwise known as the barons. Now then, they're looking very, very fierce, so what do you think I'm going to do? Yeah? That's what you're wondering, isn't it? Mm-hmm. No, I'm not going to run like the clappers. I'm going to go right up to them and I'm going to say, come now, you band of ruffians. Hold up now, admit it. Who is it who's just broke wind? Gets a big laugh every time, then. It usually does. Well, you see, the thing is, if they're laughing, they're not fighting. And if they're not fighting, I've done my job. Well, I wouldn't be a proper fool if I didn't skate on thin ice now and again. I've skated on thin ice quite a few times with my lord and master. Yeah, and I've come very close to a severe beating. And I've got one many a time. It's all to do with, well, the fact is, I have to try and tell him where he's going wrong. and he doesn't always appreciate it. Vanity, you see. Vanity, that's what it's all about. They all think they're so perfect. Is it like that with you a lot? Yeah, vanity. Yeah, vanity, vanity. The downfall of many a good man is vanity. In fact, it's really through vanity that we've ended up in this godforsaken place. Oh, bless him. Oh, look at him. Oh, God love him. He's gone and put a bird's nest on his head now, hasn't he? Did you take the eggs out? Very nice, yes, it suits you. You have to laugh though, don't you? Don't you, Eddie? I say, Eddie, you have to laugh, don't you? Yeah, thank you. Eddie, Eddie's my marot. You're my marot, aren't you? Yeah, thank you. My marot. It's French, you see. Marot, not Eddie. Isn't that right, Eddie? Yeah. Oh, you said, but he's bird's nest on his head, I don't know. You're a barn pot, that's what you are, a barn pot. Oh, but you know, if you've known him when I knew him at one time, he was a very different man. Oh, the things that have happened to him. Well, it's a long, long tale, but I mean, if you'd like me to tell you, oh, you're not sure, eh? It could be cut shorter. Well, you see, it all began, first of all, I know I better give you the people involved in this performance, the dramatis personae, ye characters in the plot. First of all, there is King Lear, king of all Britain and the other bits and pieces that hang on round about it. Not a bad king as kings go, very fair, very fair. Yes, he's ruled the country for a good many years. Yes, he's been very fair-minded. Not many wars. No real wars, really, to think of. A few minor skirmishes and stuff like that. But no, you call it real wars. Ah, yes, and he's brought up 3 lasses. Yeah, 3 no lads, but 3 lasses. And his missus, she passed on a long time ago. She should be there by now. Yeah, 3 lasses. You know, he's often said to me, John, he's often said, I wish I'd had a lad. And he would have liked a lad. Well, you see, he said, with a lad it would be easy for me to pass the crown on, as it were, you see. The inheritance. But with 3 lasses, well, it's not going to be that easy, is it? Well, so, I mean, he's kind of in Dickie's meadow, isn't he? You see, he's got this idea in his head that he wants to pack up all this kinging lark. He's had enough of it. Yes, he has. He's fed up to the back teeth. He said, I'm fed up with this, Jono. I want a bit of fun in my life. What he had this notion, he'd get a few of his mates together and they'd go yomping round the kingdom. Hunting and fishing and shooting arrows and eating and drinking and wenching. Oh yeah, bloody wenching, making merry. Well, you can't blame him for that, can you? But it sounds like a good idea to me. Wenching, did I mention wenching? Did I mention wenching? Yeah. Don't know how you'd get on. But the thing is, he can't do that at the same time as being king, has he? So he hits on this idea that he's going to pass everything on. So that's the king. Next come his daughters. The 2 eldest ones. The eldest one is Goneril. Phew, a right handful is Goneril. I won't like her for mine, I'll tell you. Yeah, she's married to the Duke of Albany. Now, he's all right. Duke of Albany is an all right geezer. Yeah, a bit weak-willed, a bit feeble-minded. Not feeble-minded, but well, she's concerned under the thumb. Very henpecked. In fact, they've nicknamed him Corn. In case anybody was wondering, that's what's known as a witty joke. So the thing is, so now she's murderous, scheming, jealous, every us you can think of, she's it. So that's them 2. Next of all comes her sister. Regan. She's as bad as Goneril. They're a good pair, I can tell you. What those two have got up to, it bear thinking about. The evil and the plotting and the things that they've done. And she's married to the Duke of Cornwall, and he's another. Phew, he's a rotter. He is. Right SH1T he is. Yeah, it's just as bad as his wife, and between the three of them, things they've got up to. Listen, the poor old Earl of Gloucester, lovely man, and nice a fellow as you can wish to meet. He just said something to him one time that aggravated them. So what did Regan say? What did she say? She says, "Hang him instantly." No, just like that. But Goneril was a bit more thoughtful. She said, "No, let's just gouge his eyes out." So that's what they did. Yeah, I'm not kidding you. They gouged his eyes out. Do you believe it? Them two got out gorgon any day. Now the other one, the other sister, that's our Cordelia. I nearly forgot it then. How could I forget Cordelia? Oh, she's a real sweetie, is Cordelia. She really is. And she was the apple of her father's eye at one time. Well, she was at one time, but things didn't go according to plan. But I'll tell you more about that later. That was Goneril. That's Regan. That was Cordelia. I get there in the end, I didn't really. Give me a little minute, and I will get there. I'm at that funny age. But the thing is, she's like I said, she's just not like her sisters. I've had a soft spot for Goneril. I've often wondered, do you think she's got a soft spot for me? Or would you think she didn't like me one little bit, would you? What would you think? Shut it! What? No. Well, I'm just a fool, really, aren't I? So, and then after that, well, then comes, I mentioned the Earl of Gloucester earlier on. He was a lovely old boy, was the Earl of Gloucester, without a shadow of a doubt. But he'd been a rum old cove in his time, and the Earl of Gloucester. Oh, yes. He had a way with the ladies. And he way one a bit too often. Ended up with an offspring off the wrong side, on the wrong side of the blanket. Edmund. What a red letter day that was, I don't think. Edmund, he's another one. He's evil and scheming and plotting, and one of the things what he's done to his brother, that was Edgar. Edgar, he was born on the right side of the blanket. Caused him an awful lot of aggravation. And the Duke and his father, his father. But between the lot of them, they're a saga all on their own, I can tell you. Now, the last one in a group of players is your Duke of Kent. Diamond Geezer. Oh, there he was. And loyal to the king through thick and thin. You see, what happened was, the thing was, I'm just a minute, I'm getting a bit too ahead of myself, aren't I? Now, I was going to tell you a bit more about the Duke of Kent, but I'm getting ahead of myself, yeah. Who asked you? I didn't, did I?
Not yet.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I didn't.
Oh, yes, you did.
God, you're hard work. Oh, no, I didn't.
Oh, yes, you did.
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 Oh, yes, I know I didn't.
Oh, yes, you did.
Doesn't say much to confuse you. That, incidentally, is the audience participation bit dealt with. We like to see you get value for money, you understand that? Well, now, where was that? Meanwhile, back to the plot. All right. So what the king decides is he's going to divide his kingdom up. He's going to divide it up between his daughters and their husbands and whatever. But he has this big powwow. He's very fair on any division, you know. Very, very fair. He makes sure that each chunk of the kingdom's got its vineyards and water supplies and mountains and forests and all that. But you know, none of them had a decent barber shop. The thing is, what he had to do, first of all, was he gathered everybody together for a big powwow. Call everybody together, you see. Everybody attend, 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 attend. And we all had to turn up there, you see. And first of all, he's going to ask his daughters how much each of them love him. Not kidding you. That's what he's going to do. In order for him to decide who's going to get the best bit, he's going to ask each of them how much they love him. In public, in front of everybody else. That's what he's going to do. Here. I couldn't believe the words, but I had to write them down. Here we are. What he says. Right, okay. Know that we have divided in three our kingdom, and 'tis our fast intent to shake all cares and business from our age, conferring them on young strengths, while we, unburthened, crawl toward death. It was his idea of a joke, really. I know it's not very funny, but that's his sense of humour, isn't it? So, how much one do they love me? How much of you loveth me? Goneril, you speak first. So, Goneril, Sire, I love you more than words can wheel the matter. I love you dearer than eyesight, space and liberty, beyond what can be reasonably valued, rich or rare, no less than life with grace, health, beauty and honour, as much as child e'er loved or father found, a love that makes breath poor, a speech unable, beyond all manner of so much, I love you. Honestly, that's what she said. Can you believe it? Doesn't make you want to puke, doesn't it? Yeah, anyway then, okay. Regan now comes up with a gleam on her face. Sir, I am made of the same metal that my sister is, and prize me at her worth. In my true heart, I find she names my very deed of love, only she comes too short. I thought to myself, she's a bit more than too short, love. I profess myself an enemy to all other joys, which the most precious square of time and sense possesses. I find I am alone felicitate in your dear highness love. That's it. That's what she said. Now, he says, the king says, now our joy, our last and not least, to whose young love the vines of France and milk and Burgundy strive to be interest. That was his way of saying two blokes fancied her. The Duke of Burgundy and the King of France. They're both decent blokes in their own way. I never did care for that Burgundy, though. I think he consumed a bit too much of their own products, you know what I mean? So anyway, says to Cordelia, what can you say to draw a third more opulent than your sisters? Speak. What does Cordelia reply? Nothing. No, she didn't say nothing. She said nothing. What she didn't actually say, she did say something. The something that she said was nothing. If you get my meaning, it wasn't nothing that she said nothing. It was nothing. Anyway, they've sorted that for yourselves. So anyway, the old boy chuckles to himself, doesn't he? And he says to her, nothing. See, he's got nothing again, you know what I mean? But he did say something, but more of a question this time, you see. Nothing. And she replies, nothing. Again, she did say something. But it's this. She'd actually say something. But it's this. Oh, I'm not going into all that again. Anyway, the thing is, he's really got this nothing on the brain, hasn't he? So he looks at her and said, oh, Cordelia, yes, mend your ways. Nothing will come of nothing. Which is pretty profound, really, when you think, isn't it? Nothing will come of nothing. Now, he's got this nothing on the brain. But Cordelia replies, unhappy that I am, I cannot heave my heart into my mouth. I love your majesty according to my bond. No more, no less. To which he replies, how, Cordelia, mend your ways? Lest you may mar your fortunes. Then Cordelia really spells it out. Good my lord, you have begot me, bred me, loved me. I return those things, those duties back as thou right and fit, obey you, love you, and most honour you. Why have I sisters husbands, if they say they love you all? Haply, when I shall wed, that lord whose hand must take my plight, shall carry half my love with him, half my care, half my duty. Sure I shall never marry, that's like my sisters do, to love my father all. Now, I don't know about you, but I was thinking to myself, well, that's a pretty decent little speech. I'm saying everything all around from our Cordelia. You would have thought, well, that would have placated him, it would have found something inside him, a bit of a decent streak somewhere, but it doesn't. Oh no, he does not like this. Oh, I tell you what, he goes on. He comes out with a right load of sanctimonious and mad-ass verbiage about being ill-used, and when he gets his teeth stuck in, he can't have a go at it. He swears by the sacred radiance of the sun, goes on about propinquity and property of blood, and barbarous Scythians. Then he talks about the mysteries of Hecate and the night, and he talks about the operation of the orbs. Well, at this point, he lost me completely. I don't know about you, but anyway, it all means something. It all means something. But, so our Cordelia, she's kind of, what's to do on the chips, hasn't she? He makes it clear to everybody that she is now persona non grata in the kingdom. Yep, he's finished with her. He's washed his hands completely of her. Now at that point, my old master said, "My lord, he is from some Burgundy." And the king says, "Fetch him here." Sort of, So he comes in they come, you see, and he says, "Now then," he says to Burgundy first of all, kind of teases him a bit and leads him on a bit. And you kind of says to him, well, what does he reckon he's expecting in the way of dowry? And my Lord of Burgundy, trifle overconfidently, if you ask me, says that he's expecting no more than the king already put on offer. Tough shit, said the king. Oh, words to that effect. He said, no. He said, she's got no dowry. No dowry. Yep, no dowry. No land, no property. Yep, in fact, you can say she's getting absolutely zilch from her poppy. Absolutely nothing. Which is strange enough where this all started. Nothing. Well, this knocks him Burgundy back a six. Because he's been hoping to feather his nest out of this little lad. He's been hoping to increase his wealth and his influence. They're like that, some people, aren't they? The more they have, the more they want. Well, he goes on and on about conditions, and the king says to him, I've told you. What she stands there in is that's what you get. That's it. Nothing. Take her or leave her. So, Burgundy decides to Burgund off. And, that leaves the way open to the King of France. Oh, different. Man of a different metal is King of France. Yeah, proper romantic he is. He doesn't want all that property. He don't want all that land. He just loves her for herself. Aww. You were a bit slow coming in there. Again. Aww. The French, aren't they? Romantic to their fingertips. So, that was it then. Off goes Cordelia with the King of France to become his queen. And Lear gets on with life at home. Well, this begs the question, doesn't it? Where's his home going to be? He's done with kinging now. He's done with kinging. He don't need no castle if he's done with kinging, does he? So he's got this notion that after he'd done a bit of hunting with the lads, they'd all turn up at Regan, spend 6 months with them, and then another 6 months with another one, and with Goneril, And they love to have their father staying with them, who they love so very much, as we've already heard. Oh, yes. He thought they'd be delighted to have him and his 100 knights. Yeah, that's what he had. He had 100 knights. All these mates, they were knights. I forgot to tell you that bit, didn't I? They were a few days as well, but they were mostly knights. and he wanted them. He wanted them all to be looked after and fed and watered and slept and everything. And he thought they'd love it, having him with his mates. Yeah, well, he thought that. Well, you don't thought they, don't you? Stuck some feathers up his armpits and thought he was a bird. Yeah. Oh, well, you see, they weren't having it at all, were they? Not at all. Well, after we'd been out on the hunting and doing and fishing and shooting arrows and all that. Not my line at all, really. And first of all, he decides he's going to call on Goneril. So we arrive at Goneril's house. And the door is opened by their servant, their manservant, Oswald. Sourpuss Oswald. Hey, King masks him quite decently, you know. What tells him who he is, etc., etc. And he gets a load of that chat from this Oswald, you know. And then Oswald gives me a whack. What had I done to deserve it? I might just have made a little jest, like, if your nose wasn't as near your arse, you might be a better man. What I mean? But no, who could take offence at that? But anyway, the king then high dudgeon, we make our exit. And when he gets in high dudgeon, it can be pretty high, I can tell you. So we have another couple of days off, and then he decides to go back again. Now, this time, when we arrive this time, and there's a new kid on the block meets us before we can get to the door, a new kid on the block. Well, actually, it's an old kid. It's the Duke of Kent. He's now in disguise. He's come to offer his services to the king as a servant. He's very thin, that these guys, it's true. But good eyesight was never a good thing with a king, Lear. And the king says to him, what does he say? What services canst thou do? And Kent replies, Kent disguises as a servant, you see. He doesn't know he's Kent, you see. I can keep honest counsel, ride, run, mark a curious tale in telling it, and deliver a plain message bluntly, that which ordinary men are fit for, I am qualified in, and the best of me is diligence. So then Lear says to him, how old art thou? And he says, not so young, sir, as to love a woman for singing, nor so old as to dote on her for anything. I thought to myself, is he after my job or what? Anyway, King says to him, follow me, thou shalt serve me. If I like thee no worse after dinner, I will not part from thee yet. And then he calls out, dinner, dinner, and they ask for me. I think he thought I was someone probably needed something to eat. Well, I was a bit hungry. I've been lurking in the background, you see. It's sometimes better to lurk in the background, don't you think? Have you ever lurked in the background? Have you really? No. I won't ask any more. But anyway, the thing is, so I come up, so we knock on the door again. Oswald comes out again. This time, giving the king a lot more back chat. King gives him a whack, doesn't he? Well, he's jiggling and dancing about. Next thing, my Earl of Kent trips him up and he falls flat on his derriere. He's not very pleased about. Exit, Oswald. Enter, Regan. No, it wasn't. It was Goneril, wasn't it? I was just seeing if you were following. I will ask questions later, you know that. Ha ha! Speaketh the Lady Goneril. Not only this, you're all licensed fool. Yes, pointing to me, of course. I'm licensed. I've got full license. Yeah, all licensed fool. But other of your insolent retinue do hourly carp and quarrel, breaking forth in rank, and not to be endured riots. Yes, I thought to myself, breaking forth and quite a few other things as well, but we'll let that pass. Sir, I had thought, by making this well known unto you, to have found safe redress, but now grow fearful by what you yourself too late have spoken and done. What's he done, ask you? What's he done? He's just turned up there with his mates. They said he was all right, What's he done? Well, Lady Goneril continues. As you are old and reverend, you should be wise. Here do you keep 100 knights and squires, men so disordered and so debauched and bold, that this our court, infected with their manners, shows like a riotous inn. Epicurism and lust make it more of a tavern or a brothel than a graced palace. A very far cry from, oh, sire, I love thee more than words can wheel the matter. The chicks coming on to roost, aren't they now? Well, he's really cross with this, He stands and says, darkness and devils, saddle my horses, call my train together. Degenerate bastard, I'll not trouble thee. Ooh, the king. Then she comes back with, you strike my people, and your disordered rabble make servants of their betters. Oh, he does like this, doesn't he? Oh, yes, he does like this. No, does he like this? Yes. No, he doesn't. I've forgotten you were there. Hey, all right. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. You're a little chatterbox, aren't you? Yeah. Yes, well, he like this. He hits back at her with, these are the words, I'm not kidding, I've written them down. These are the exact words. Detested kite, thou liest. My train are men of choice and rarest parts, that all particulars of duty know, and in the most exact regard support the worships of their name. Oh, most small fault. I thought to myself, at least at the time, we could tell that to the birds. Some of these lads, well, they were rum coves, I can tell you. And when they'd killed the boar and had a bit on the juice, section on the juice, yeah, they could be a bit troublesome at times. Then the follows a lot more argy-bargy, and the boss gets really het up, and then he shouts out, here, nature, here, dear goddess, here, suspend thy purpose, if thou didst intend to make this creature fruitful. Unto her womb convey sterility, dry up her organs of increase, and from her derogate body never spring blasts and fogs upon thee. The untented woundings of a father's curse pierce every sense about thee. Ooh. The dander was really up, wasn't it? Oh, and then we make our departure. He's even in higher dudgeon now. Oh, he decides he's going to call on Regan and tell her all his troubles and how badly he's been ill-used. Well, anyway, when we get to Regan's, they've gone out. They've gone out to see the Earl of Gloucester. Shall we all troll over to the Earl of Gloucester's place? But before we can get to the door, we should see there outside in the stocks none other than the Earl of Kent, who is, of course, disguised as a servant. You following me? Mm-hmm. Yes. In the stocks, the king's most annoyed about this. Gets really angry. You see, and wants to know why it's been put there, etc., etc. You see, the king had gone and sent his nibs the Lord of Kent, which is our mystery gent, with the message of his intent to very soon present himself so perident, with all his contingents, full 100 compliments, for the main event, dinner! What do you want, Sophocles? Anyway, to cut a very long story short, they did now relent and thought it provident that they set free Lord Ken, who immediately went, oh, I can't be doing that. I'll get in on that horse again. Yes, but you see, the thing is, well, things are not going to be as he was, as he thought they were going to be, right? Yeah, and things went from bad to worse, and they went from worse to worse, and they even got to worse than that. Very soon there's that much plotting going on and subplotting. There are more plots being hatched than a clutch of eggs. Yeah, oh yeah. And very soon it appears that the king is now in danger of his life. He becomes a wanted man in his own country. The plots that were going on against his life. But word has reached France and the king of France. And Cordelia and the king of France have been getting up an army. And they're setting sail, they're landing at Dover any minute. We've got to be moving soon, Your Majesty. Yeah, he's made some daisy chains for Cordelia and the king of France, bless him. Hey, I do love him, you know. I do hope he's going to be all right. Yeah. They're here to save him, that's if there's anything left of him to save. That's right, isn't it? Yeah. So there we are. We'll be moving on. I don't think we're going to get any service here. No. Oh, there's some water here. Oh, that was there. Oh, the king. Hey ho, the wind and the rain it raineth every day. He that hath the little tiny wit, with a hey ho, the wind and the rain, doth make was his fortunes fit. The rain it raineth every day. With a hey ho, the wind and the rain it raineth every day. A long time ago the world began with a hey ho, the wind and the rain, and that's all one, our tale is done, and we aim to please you every day. With a hey ho, the wind and the rain it raineth every day. Lovely. We thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Love is wise, hatred is foolish. In this world, which is getting more and more closely interconnected, we have to learn to tolerate each other. We have to learn to put up with the fact that some people say things that we don't like. We can only live together in that way. If we are to live together and not die together, we must learn a kind of charity and a kind of tolerance, which is absolutely vital to the continuation of human life on this planet.